What's up, guys? There's a lot going on around the NFL. It appears that the New York Jets are in the midst of a fire sale. If you missed it, they traded star Pro Bowl All Pro cornerback Sauce Gardner to the Indianapolis Colts for count them, two first round picks. And now the Bears, I was about to go live to talk about the moves around the NFL, and there were multiple reports that the Bears were trying to add an edge rusher, but they have now already made a move. The Bears are trading for Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. They're giving up a 6th-round pick, but they are getting a 7th-rounder in return. Basically just moving down from the 6th to the 7th round and adding a former first-round pick here as an edge rusher. He's only played 31 snaps so far for the Browns this year, but he's a guy who had a lot of talent, enough to go in the first round. He's only 26 years old, and he showed flashes last season, or at least the last 2 or 3 years, of being a really productive pass rusher in Tampa Bay. He beat Laremy Tunzel for he beat Laremy Tunzel for a huge sack. He's beat some other big name tackles. He had 15 total sacks in 4 years. I'll talk a little bit about him. I haven't watched a ton of tape. There wasn't much available this year. He only played 31 snaps. But get this, he had 3 pressures in just 14 pass rush snaps this year. Very small sample size here. But Dayo Odingbo, the guy he's replacing, had nearly 400 snaps, and he only had 10 pressures on the year. This guy had a third amount of pressures that Dayo did. He should at least be able to produce what Dayo Odangbo was bringing to the offense, or the defense, I'm sorry, at least replace him on the defensive line. And then the good news is he's not going to take snaps away from Austin Booker. Austin Booker should be the guy that is the biggest beneficiary of the Dayo Odangbo getting hurt. You don't want to say guys benefit from that, but someone's got to take the snaps. I think Austin Booker is going to get the majority of those snaps, but this is a good depth piece, a guy who at least should be active on game days, at least until Dominique Robinson is back. But this is kind of what I was expecting. I talked about it at least 3 times in the last 2 weeks. I don't expect the Bears to give up a ton of early draft picks, but if there's another player or two that they can get like this for a late round, we didn't even give up a pick, really. We basically gave up a 6th-rounder, got a 7th. So we're swapping picks there and moving down a round and picking up a guy who was a former first-round pick. 15 sacks in 4 years. I don't know the answer to why he didn't get more snaps in Cleveland this year, but over the last few years with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he's been a semi-productive, at least a guy who can come in and be a situational pass rusher. So that's kind of what we got here. He's a guy who's I don't know if he's worse than Dayo Odangbo. It's going to be hard to be worse than what Dayo did this year, at least as a member of the Chicago Bears. This is a guy who should come in and compete for some snaps. He's not going to be a world beater. He's not Max Crosby. Let's get that straight. But the other thing here, though, is, are the Bears done? Yeah, I'm with Alpha here. I think he's a guy who should be better than what we've seen from Dayo this year. I mean, Dio's just been awful. You can't, like Nick says, I mean, you got to call it for what it is. He's been absolutely terrible this year. The hope was that with Austin Booker coming back, he could move to the inside more. Because when I looked at his tape the last couple of years with the Colts, Dio was always better when he rushed from the inside, not as an edge rusher. So he didn't really get a chance to do that. We were hoping he would do that soon, but now he's done for the year. Who knows when he'll be healthy? But this is a guy who honestly should replace Dio. But Austin Booker is the guy who's going to be the biggest beneficiary of snaps here. But the biggest question to me is, are the Bears done? This is still a few hours left in the trade deadline here. We got 2 hours left right now, and there were a ton of other moves around the NFL. If you haven't been paying attention to other teams, I do have those moves up on the screen here. And Jay just said it in the chat. This news broke last night. It was something, and this is something I do want to talk briefly about here, is Asante Samuel Jr. I got to admit, I didn't watch a ton of Chargers film over the last few years. I assumed that Asante Samuel was playing a lot more in the slot, he's actually gotten 90% or more of his reps the last 3 or 4 years at outside cornerback. So initially, I thought when we signed CJ Gardner Johnson, that ruled us out of being able to go after Asante Samuel Jr. He has been cleared, according to reports that were on Twitter. He is cleared for football action, and he expects to sign in the next week or so. I think he'd be a great addition. He's a guy you wouldn't have to give up a draft pick for. He can compete at outside corner. And right now, you can never have too many corners when you have as many guys as we do that's hurt. The only reason they wouldn't go after Asante Samuel Jr. is if Kyler Gordon or JJ are going to be back in the next few weeks. I do agree with what Alpha's saying here. Joe is a quality player. I think this is a guy, we're only basically moving down 15 or 20 spots in the draft, if that. And this is a guy who can come in and help our defensive line. And you're not breaking the bank for him, but he's not going to be a 10-sack guy either. Now, he could potentially be a 4 or 5 sack guy. He's done that a couple of times in his career. He's only 26 years old. He's 6'5", 260 pounds. He is athletic. He has the long arms. And I've seen him with reps where he looks really good. Now, I don't think he's going to beat out Austin Booker and take too many snaps away from Booker, but we need more on the offensive line. I don't even think this guy has an RAS score. I think he was hurt at the combine and didn't work out. Or at least I couldn't find one. I'll check again later when I do a little bit more research on him, but I couldn't find one when I Googled it. But this is a guy I believe is going to help our defensive line. Someone just mentioned that Quinnen Williams is out there. And this is another thing I wanted to talk about here. The New York Jets. This is a team we've already talked about when I talked about maybe they would trade Breece Hall or maybe they would trade Jermaine Johnson, the pass rusher. I got to admit, guys, not in a million years did I expect them to trade Sauce Gardner. Now, to be fair, if I'm a GM of a team and someone offers me 2 first-round picks, I would almost give up any cornerback in the league for 2 first-round picks. So that's the only reason why I'd be like, okay, that's a good move for the Jets. The Jets are getting 2 first-round picks for a corner. Now, he was a shutdown corner and probably the best corner in the NFL. But if someone offered us 2 first-round picks for Jalen Johnson, JJ, I love you, man. Never would I want to trade you. But I'm just saying, if someone gave you the Sauce treatment and offered 2 first-round picks, I'd have to be taking those calls, man. Because I'd rather have a bunch of cornerbacks and have more depth on the team and the roster overall than one shutdown corner. Unless you're Deion Sanders, and Sauce Gardner he's probably the best in the NFL as far as shutdown corners. But 2 first-round picks, I got to say that's a win-win trade for both teams. The Colts are a team that want to win right now. They're one of the best teams in the NFL. They have a big weakness at corner. They're giving up 2 first-round picks. Hope that pays off for him. Sauce is one of the best corners in the league, but that's tough. Yeah, Alpha says it here, though. We're getting back to the Bears trade. It's not really huge shoes to fill here when you're talking about Dayo Odangbo's production this year. It hasn't been good. Josiah says Sauce hasn't been elite since his rookie year. I still think he's one of the best corners in football, and he has the potential to be the best. So they're banking on him playing a little bit better in Indy. Yeah, JJ's a stud, man. No knock to JJ. I was just giving a hypothetical trade scenario there, but when we're looking at the Jets roster, the big name that people in chat are mentioning, people on Twitter are talking about, that would be Quinnen Williams. And Quinnen Williams is probably one of the best defensive linemen in the league. If you can add Quinnen Williams, I don't want to give up a first-round pick. If you could do it for a second or like a third and a fifth, I'd be all in on that. But looking at the market right now, you see the Jets just got 2 first-round picks, but the rest of the deals have been mostly late-round picks. There was Jalen Phillips, the Eagles gave up a 3rd-round pick for. Draymond Jones, only a 5th-rounder, and that's conditioner. It's a conditional pick there. Jair Alexander was for a 6th. Keon White for a 6th. Jacoby Myers a 4th. And I believe it was also, they got another pick with that. Roger McCreary was a 5th-round pick. Logan Wilson, this one, the one the Cowboys pulled off last night. When healthy, I think Logan Wilson is a Pro Bowl linebacker. and he's a guy that'll really help out the Cowboys defense. They got him for just a 7th round pick. That's a good pickup. That also says the Bengals should be on the market to trade, though. The rumor is they want a 1st round pick for Trey Hendrickson. I wouldn't do it. You're paying for his past production at that point. But if they lowered their price in the next under 2 hours here and went down to let's say if I offered him a 3rd and a 5th, or even maybe a future second, 2027 second, see what they'd give up for that. But I don't want to give up 2nd round picks either. But Trey Hendrickson is on the market. He's probably the biggest name that's on the market. And then unless you're talking about the Jets players, with the Jets being willing to trade Sauce Gardner, they would probably trade anyone on this roster. Oh, no, there it is. Quinnen Williams is gone, but not to the Bears. Oh, Quinnen Williams to the Cowboys. They're giving up a 1st round pick. I just saw it popped up. Ian Rap sheet trade. Quinnen Williams has been traded. The Jets fire sale continues. They're getting another. They're going to have. What are they going to have? 5 1st round picks over the next 2 years? 6. They're getting a 1st round pick from the Dallas Cowboys. Quinnen will and more. It says sending a 1st round pick and more to the Jets for Quinnen Williams. They gave up more than just a 1st round pick. Oh my! I haven't seen Kyle Pitts to the Bucs yet, but that would be a good addition there. I haven't seen that one yet, Alpha. But let me check. Rappaport over here. Rappaport reports stuff all the time too. Quinnen Williams to the Cowboys, man. So okay, it's what I was just talking about here. The Jets are having a fire sale, right? Sauce Gardner is gone. I just literally 30 seconds before Quinnen Williams got traded, I said, that means they could trade Quinnen Williams. I didn't want to give up a 1st round pick and more, though, so I'm with Poles passing up on that one. But they have other players here. What about Will McDonald, the pass rusher? What about Jermaine Johnson, the pass rusher? What if you can get Breece Hall for like a 6th round pick or a 5th? Oh, man. This is wild. They're making moves here. Let me see. Jets are just trading people, man. Oh man. I don't think Max Crosby's going anywhere, guys. And we couldn't afford him even if he was. That's one guy you can't really do it. Yeah, Thibodeau is another guy I like. I don't want to give up a 1st for him though. This guy, we basically gave up. So we got Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. He's athletic. He's lengthy. He has some burst and power off the line of scrimmage. I haven't watched his tape yet. I will be doing that over the next 24 to 48 hours. But he's a guy who looks like he'll be a good situational pass rusher. He's not going to come in and lead the team in sacks. He's not going to come in and change this roster or the D line, but he's going to help add depth to the defensive line. We gave up a 6th round pick. We got a pass rusher and a 7th in return. So with that 7th round pick we brought back, we basically just moved down around. Didn't really give up a pick. We're moving down around. It's a 6th and 7th swap for Joe. Good call there by NJ. There are a couple other guys out there. I will say this, guys. DJ Moore is not getting traded. This is a topic I want to talk about soon. I want to talk about DJ and his future with this team, because I do believe once we get to the off season, it's a completely different situation. But right now, you saw what he means to the offense last week. Right now, we need DJ. I think once we get another year in this offense, he's probably going to be phased out. But we're not trading DJ Moore today. I don't see it. It would completely shock me. Chase Young is a guy, his contract makes it kind of tough. And I don't know if the Saints want to trade him. He's the only pass rusher they have over the next couple of years in contract. I kind of felt like he was auditioning for our team when we played against the Saints, but I just don't think it's very likely. I'd love it if we could pull something like that off. Man, I can't believe Quinnen Williams, though, to the Cowboys. So the Cowboys added Logan Wilson and Quinnen Williams. The Cowboys are really, really leveling up. Oh man, I don't think anybody likes the move the Bears made very much here. Now I will say it's low risk, guys. We didn't really give up much. Listen, Jay. I think we can get Will McDonald. If you're looking, if you're looking at what the Jets are doing right now, coming into the day, I didn't think it was very possible they would trade Quinnen Williams or Sauce Gardner. Once they traded Sauce, all bets are off. That team is having a fire sale. They will trade anybody for the right cost right now. I don't think they're just going to give players away, but they've already traded away potentially the best two players on their roster. Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner are gone. They got 3 total first-round picks and more. This is a team that's in full rebuild mode. They're obviously probably going to move on from Justin Fields. They're with 5 first-round picks over the next 2 years. That's a team that's in position to get themselves either the number 1 pick or a quarterback really soon here. Ooh, I would not give up a first for Alontae Taylor. I do like Alontae Taylor. Right now, I'd be calling the Jets, though. A lot of players on that Jets roster. Jermaine Johnson and Will McDonald be the 2 biggest that I'd be trying to get. See if, especially with them getting so many first-round picks, maybe they'll make a move for a 3rd now. Like, look, we'll give you a 3rd-round pick for Jermaine Johnson. Keep stacking up some picks over there. Yeah, as long as Tyron is healthy, or Tyrion, this is a guy, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, my fault. I think he can be a good depth piece. At least he's going to at least give you hopefully what we're missing from Dominique Robinson, because Dominique Robinson hasn't been that good. Yeah, we broke that a couple of minutes ago. That's a 1st-round pick. Quinnen Williams is with the Cowboys. Sauce Gardner's with the Jets. I don't have it on the graphic, but that's the other one. I should add it to the bottom right now. Quinnen Williams to the Cowboys, guys. That's a crazy one. I wouldn't have paid more than a 1st-round pick, though. So I'm kind of happy the Bears didn't do it. For a 1st-round pick. I'll add it to the scrolling text at the bottom. Quinnen Williams is a Dallas Cowboy. This is crazy. I'm hoping we're still looking right now, Miguel. I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping the Bears are looking to make another move here. But we got a couple hours. We're about at an hour and 45 minutes here until the actual trade deadline. But Quinnen went for apparently, they haven't brought the official details up. The Ian Rappaport said a 1st-rounder and more to the Jets. I don't know what the more is. I don't know if they're sending a player, or I don't know if they're sending like a 3rd-round pick or a 5th, but they're definitely sending more. Let me see. Seeing if there's anything else the Bears. I'm guessing the Titans probably want similar for Jeffrey Simmons, because the Cowboys probably tried both. If you're talking for Quinnen Williams, you're probably talking for Jeffrey Simmons as well. I don't want to give up a 1st-round pick and more. I think that's where I'm at right now. So I would rather Poles shop for these value deals right now. Maybe try to get another cornerback, another piece in the secondary, someone else on the D-line. We could use help at a few positions, but secondary and D-line are the ones I'd be looking for. We just brought in 1 defensive end, not really a needle mover, although he is a former 1st-round pick, and Dennis Allen is pretty familiar with him. Here's the part here. Yeah, Simmons will probably cost less, but how much less? The Titans are going to want a similar trade option. Just because around the NFL, some people might think Quinnen Williams is better. The Titans are very high on Jeffrey Simmons. I mean, right now there's a lot of people out there who are looking for 1st-round picks for their players. It looks like there's more people right now willing to give up 1st-round picks than I imagined. Yeah, Simmons might not even be available, but I don't know. The Titans are probably close to having a fire sale. They're clearly not as willing as the Jets are. Right now, I think the Jets they would probably listen to an offer for any player on their entire roster if you made a decent offer. Sauce Gardner was as valuable a player as they have. And trading Sauce Gardner away, I mean, maybe they would not trade. The only guy I could think of that they wouldn't trade would be Wilson, wide receiver. Why am I blanking on his first name? From Ohio State, first round pick a couple years back. He's banged up right now, but he's the only player who's even close to as valuable. I don't think we're one player. I don't think. I mean, I don't think the Cowboys are one player away either. I never understand the one player away. Oh yeah, Garrett Wilson. Garrett, thank you, Petty. I was just blanking on his first name. Garrett Wilson, stud wide receiver for the Jets. He's maybe the only player I could see them not wanting to trade. But that whole roster right now is up for grabs if someone wants it. If you're calling and offering them. But I never agree with the one player away unless you're trading 2 first-round picks like the Colts did for Sauce Gardner. I don't think you ever trade first-round picks unless, like you're saying, it's that one player you think who could be the piece that pushes you over the edge to be a Super Bowl team, that one player away. But right now we need depth. We need more bodies in the secondary. Yeah, Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner are gone. The Jets are having a fire sale over there, man. Yeah, Jets are going to have 3 first-round picks coming up this year and then 2 the year after as well. So, man, I like Asante Samuel Jr. I did touch on that a little bit as well earlier. He is healthy, apparently, according to the reports going on Twitter. He's healthy now and ready to sign with the team. That'd be another move I would be a fan of. Do we have enough cap space? I don't know, maybe, but I'd definitely be calling the Jets right now. I'd be calling the Jets. Let's see. Tell Ryan Poles I have 2 ruptured Achilles. Can he give me $24 million too? Hey, I wish, man. I wish. Yeah, he's probably going to need a few weeks till he's in football shape, but I don't know with the spinal fusion and all that. I'm not a doctor. I don't want to get too involved in that, but he says he's ready to play. Reports are he's ready to play. It would be up to the team doctor. If he's not signed in the next week or two, that would pretty much tell you that NFL teams aren't willing to take the risk on him. So that one is a huge question mark there and probably would be the reason why most teams stay away from him. But the doors are open, guys. The Jets are having a floodgate right now. I would trade for Will McDonald. Will McDonald's a player I really like. I saw him in person at the Senior Bowl. I saw him dominate some really good tackles. He's a guy who I think he has really high upside. Does Dennis Allen like him is the question. And that's where it comes down to. Dennis Allen does prefer bigger edges. He likes guys who can stop the run versus how good they are at getting after the quarterback. I like guys who can get after the quarterback better. So we already have Austin Booker is going to get more reps. I think if we sign an edge or trade for an edge, it's going to be a bigger guy. But they're having a fire sale over there right now. So you got to call the Jets. I would ask them about Jermaine Johnson. I would ask them about Will McDonald and just put out a flyer. If there's a cornerback on their roster, they've already traded 2 of their top corners. Will they trade another corner? If there's someone there you like as a depth piece, especially we also had another guy get hurt. Josh Blackwell is also in the concussion protocol now. So we have a lot of corners that are out right now. So it's tough right now. Let me see. Does that regulate? My man, B-Shep. Maybe looking too ahead in the future, but I'd be interested in David Bailey out of Texas Tech, man. That's a guy. I'll be talking about him. He's one of my favorite edge rushers in the class. When we start talking about next year's draft, he's going to be a guy I'll talk about. But right now, considering we're at the trade deadline, we're a team that has 5 wins. I see people saying the Bears are only going to get 7 wins this year. We already got 5, guys. 5 wins already. So this is a team. What about Tavondre Sweat? I like Sweat. I think he's kind of an Andrew Billings. I do think he has a little bit more pass rush prowess, maybe, but what are you going to have to give up for Sweat? I don't want to give up a high draft pick. I would be looking at Arden Key. I really liked Draymond Jones. Draymond Jones went for just a 5th round pick to the Ravens. Man, Draymond Jones was one of my top free agent targets this offseason. When I talked about free agency before the draft and all that, he was coming from the Broncos. He's a guy who could play edge and 3 tech. I liked him. I thought he would have been a perfect fit here. He went to the Titans. They went ahead and traded him. He's now a member of the Ravens. I would have liked him, though. You actually like the JTS pickup? We got a fan of the pickup. I like the nickname, too, JTS. I'm going to call him that now. The Bears have traded for JTS from the Cleveland Browns. He has been a productive pass rusher, a situational pass rusher over the last couple of years for the Bucks. Oh, they got Mozzie Smith, too. Okay. And a 2026. Oh, my goodness. Okay, I think that's the official details of it. The Jets are getting a 2026 second-round pick, a 2027 first-round pick, and Mozzie Smith, the big freak athlete defensive tackle from Michigan for Quinnen Williams. No way would I have paid that. That basically would have been, we would have had to give up a first, a second, and Gervon Dexter, or I think Dexter's better than Mozzie, but they basically want a first, a third, and Gervon Dexter at the worst. Oh, no, Breece Hall to LA? I haven't seen that yet. I don't want it. I don't want to see that one. Ooh. Let me see. Who said that? Oh, okay. Let's see if I can get any new ones. Man, they're giving up a lot, man. You forgot the Cowboys did have some extra draft capital, though. They did have extra draft picks from the Packers for trading away Micah Parsons. So that's something we got to remember, too. But man, oh, man. There's some news breaking here, guys. That's too much to give up for Quinnen Williams. At that price, I'm definitely... Oh, not the Chargers. Let me see. Let me type in Breece Hall. See if I can find anything on Breece. Oh, Breece Hall to the Chargers is going to make me sad. I think our running back room is fine, but I don't see it yet. Oh, wait. Jordan Schultz, the guy who reported that the Bears were in the market for a pass rusher this morning, 3 to 4 hours before we traded for a pass rusher. He was all over it. He's now saying there's more to come. He said it's not over yet. The Bears are still going to make another move. I'm listening. I'm hopeful. I'd like to see something else. I'd like to see, especially with the Jets, just basically the Jets are in full tank mode. Get someone off the Jets. There's got to be someone on that roster you can get for a low round pick that can come in and help. Oh, man. That's way too much for Quinnen Williams, though. I'm not giving that up. I don't know if any of you guys in the chat would be in favor of that, but giving up a first, a second, and a guy who was an early draft pick and is still young in Mozzie Smith, all of that for Quinnen Williams, and you got to pay him? Oh, my goodness. That's a lot, man. Like that's got to be, that's more than they got for Micah Parsons, I think. So, I mean, we know that Jerry Jones talked all offseason about, in his head, his philosophy right now as the Cowboys GM and owner is that having the elite pass rusher didn't really make the team better. So he wanted to make the defensive tackle. He wanted to make the inside of the defensive line better. And he added, what's his name? Kenny Clark from the Packers this year. So now he's going to have Kenny Clark next to Quinnen Williams. That's going to be a nice interior force there. But you're getting rid of Mozzie Smith. You're getting rid of 2 really high draft picks. That's a crazy one. I will say adding Quinnen Williams and Logan Wilson to your defense, that's going to be a good look for the Cowboys. It's going to be a good look for the Cowboys. Their defense is going to get better. Man, they paid way too much for Quinnen, though. That's a lot, man. Yeah, you're saying it right there. Too much. An hour and a half to go until the trade deadline, guys. Hour and a half until the trade deadline is here. Let's see. Oh, Greg Gabriel hit up with a good stat on our new guy, JTS, the new pass rusher. Over the last 3 years in 2024, 2023, and 2022, he had 39 total starts for Tampa Bay, basically starting 13 games a year. And that's a guy with a lot of experience, still only 26 years old. Hopefully he's going to help out our pass rush a lot. I mean, right now, who's getting snaps at defensive end right now on this team? Greg Hardy or Daniel Hardy is going to be out there a ton. Dominique Robinson is hurt. They're gonna be calling up Jamry Cromaz is probably going to be called up from the practice squad and getting snaps. Honestly, this is a team we're really hurt on the defensive line. With Dio being out for the season, we definitely needed the move for the depth piece, but I still feel like we could get another move. I need another move. Man, the Jets have 2 firsts and 2 seconds in 2026. And then in 2027, which underrated point here, 2027 is most likely going to be the Arch Manning year. I still think Arch Manning will be a number 1 pick, but I think it won't be till 2027. Give him another year and a half. He's going to be pretty good. Someone said Garrett Wilson to the Bears. No. I do think it's very possible Breece Hall, Jermaine Johnson could both get traded. So could Will McDonald. I'm watching the Jets here. I think they're a team that can still make a couple moves. They have 3 first-round picks in 2027. That's crazy. 5 first-round picks and a total of 8 picks in the first 2 rounds over the next 2 years. The Jets are going to be they're going to be all big players in the draft right now. And they're still looking for more picks. If they can get a couple other draft picks here, hey, take one of our late rounders. Take a 5th rounder for Jermaine Johnson. I would offer him that Jermaine Johnson, that 5th, maybe even a 4th. My final offer would probably be a 3rd, but I don't want to go up to that. I'd like to get it for less than that. Yeah, good point by Tom here. I mean, we basically went down like 15 spots in the draft from what could be a mid 6th round pick to an early 7th round pick. And we're getting a guy who's 26 years old, a former 1st round pick, and has nearly 40 starts over the last 3 years. He's obviously not one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. He's not Trey Hendrickson. He's not someone like a Quinnen Williams, but he is an experienced pass rusher who has made some impact plays over the years. So hopefully he can be a little bit motivated to get back on the field here because he hasn't gotten hardly any snaps this year with the Browns. And the guy he's replacing at defensive end really don't have to be that great to come in and replace what Dio Odengbo has done this year. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the 2026 draft, actually. The more I study it, there are some guys. If David Bailey comes out, there's some pass rushers I like. There's a couple running backs I like. But honestly, the more talent is 2027. That's also going to be, I think that's going to be the Arch Manning year. It's going to be the Jeremiah Smith year. What's the Alabama stud wide receiver? There's a lot of players that are going to be coming out there. Oh, I do want to touch on that, Naj. Guys, I don't know what's going on with Rome Odunze's dad, but if you haven't seen it, he's on Twitter. He's endorsing trading Rome Odunze because he's not getting the ball enough. I'm like, bruh, you got to put your phone down. It's such a bad look, in my opinion. Rome Odunze is one of my favorite players on the roster. I think everyone here knows how much I love Rome. He's absolutely one of my favorite players on this team. But here's the thing. Rome has more targets than DJ Moore, a guy who's making $25 million a season and is established in the NFL and has actually produced a lot more per touch than Rome has this year, where Rome has dropped a lot of Rome is one of my favorite players that I root for. I think he's very talented. Rome's a guy I saw at the NFL Combine. He was out there staying late, working hard. I think Rome can be one of the top receivers in the league. But yeah, he's dropped way too many passes this year. His contested catch rate this year is awful. Anytime there's a contested catch, Rome was a guy who in college, when he was with the Huskies, he came down with those. Right now, He hasn't been doing that. But he leads our team in targets. Someone getting mad and saying that he should be getting more targets when he's leading the team in targets, and we're a team that spreads the ball around. Like, man, it's crazy. But I love Rome, though. I do love Rome. But, I mean, his dad's got to stay off Twitter. That's all I got to say. I love him. Hey, no disrespect to Rome's family or anything, but I don't think it's doing him any good, man. I thought it was kind of weird, but anyway, back to trade deadline talk, guys. There's been some crazy deals on top of all the deals that are listed on the screen here. The Cowboys also traded for Quinnen Williams, the star defensive tackle from the Jets. They gave up a first, a second, and Mozzie Smith. Kind of crazy, man. Hey, if that's not Rome's dad, someone did a really good job of faking people out there. But Michael Carter Jr. has already been traded. He was traded to the Eagles. Let me see if I think I have what they gave up for him. Somewhere. I think it was like a 5th or 6th round pick. But basically, yeah, he's already been traded. The Eagles have added a couple of cornerbacks. They added Jair Alexander. They added Michael Carter. And they added, who was the Jalen Phillips, the pass rusher from the Dolphins. So they've added 3 players. They've given up a lot of picks. The Eagles are kind of all in. They're a team. We have the Eagles are all in. The Jets are in full rebuild here. But I've talked a little bit about I don't believe DJ gets traded today. I just don't see it happening. DJ's a guy who, man, I just don't see him getting traded. Not this year. If you're talking about next year, we'll be talking about it soon. I have a video coming. I'll have a video out in the next couple of days talking about it because I do believe it's a lot more likely than than most people believe. But there's no chance I don't believe that DJ gets traded today. I just don't think it happens. We need DJ too much. He's a big part of this offense. I think he stays here. Are they shopping Denzel Ward? Denzel's up and down, but I'd take him. Another former Buckeye. Oh, I do like Cam Taylor-Britt as well. Cam Taylor-Britt's kind of like a Tyreek Stevenson, honestly. Honestly, he is. Let's see. Did something else happen? Not yet. I had to double check Shefty here. Shefty and Ian Rappaport usually break the deals before anybody else. Nothing new yet, guys. Cam Taylor-Britt's another name to watch, though. That's a cornerback I like. There's reason to talk about trading DJ, but I believe it's reason for next year, not this year. I do believe the biggest issue, I'll say it in like 30 seconds here. The biggest reason is because we've taken back-to-back pass catchers in the top 10. And teams in the NFL don't do that. When you take Colston Loveland and you take Rome Odunze, those guys are going to get the ball. And then you take Luther Burden as well. That's another guy that needs the ball. Your running backs need the ball. And when you're looking at our salary cap over the next couple of years, it's something I'll talk about later. I don't want to talk about it right. I love DJ, and I'll say, look, right now, we cannot trade DJ Moore. They can't do it. If a team is calling, even if they're offering, I think I mentioned before, Kayvon Thibodeau, I would trade DJ Moore for him. Even if the Giants called right now and said, look, give us DJ Moore, we'll give you Kayvon Thibodeau, I don't think we can do it. DJ's too big of a part of this offense right now. Once you get to the off season and Colston Loveland's had a full year to develop and Rome Odunze's had 2 years and Luther Burden's had a full year, then they can expect more from those guys. And in the off season, you could definitely shop DJ Moore over the next 2 years. But today, you can't do it. We need DJ too much right now. Right now, the offense, Luther Burden's out, and we don't have a lot of depth behind those guys. Olamide Zaccheaus and Jade Walker are about it. No one else really, I think, could even step on the football field in this offense and do much. So Devin Duvernay, he hasn't even looked good as a kick returner this year. And then Miles Boykin, I haven't seen him do much since he was at Notre Dame, basically. But yeah. Oh, Taylor-Britt. 7 interceptions and 15 pass breakups. Honestly, he reminds me a lot of Tyreek Stevenson. I've said it. He's got a big mouth. He's long. He's lengthy. He's not scared. He can intimidate players at times, but he can also give up. He's susceptible to double moves. He gets beat deep occasionally. He's been caught napping a couple of times, but he's a really good corner. I think he's done. A couple of people think we're done. There's still an hour and a half left. There's reports out there right now. The reports are from Jordan Schultz that there's still more to come. Ryan Poles is still working on a deal. I could see it. I'd like to see one more, but yeah, that's a good point there. Deo Odengbo's contract is a big concern. Biggest reason is there's not really an out in next year. We're basically stuck with him for another year. Yeah, I would like to see Jade Walker on the field more. I think Jade could be great. We played for Deo and someone said it right here. Jarrett and Dio, those guys are making a lot of money this year, and they're not giving us any production. Now, for Jarrett, I think he's getting a little criticized too much. There's some kind of injury there with Jarrett where if he was himself and he was the player that he was even last year, that's not what I've seen on the football field, but he'd be making an impact. Whatever happened to his knee, I think it happened sometime in preseason or training camp. He got a knee injury that's bothered him all year. He's missed time with it. And I think it's the same knee he injured a couple of years ago. So you don't know if that's something that's is he ever going to bounce back to 100%? I don't know, but he's just not himself. And that's a risk Poles took. That's another contract we can get out of, but not yet. And Alpha said it here. Other teams are getting high draft picks. When you look around at some of these other players that were acquired, the Quinnen Williams, the Sauce Gardner, they're giving up first-round picks here. There's no way I don't think there's any player on the market that's worth multiple first-round picks right now. I don't think it's worth it. So I would not want to mortgage our future for one player. Would a Sauce Gardner or Quinnen Williams have made the Bears better? Yes. Would it have made them Super Bowl favorites or been that one player that changed the fate of this team's future? I don't think so. So I'm glad we didn't pay multiple first-round picks for either of those players that got traded. Now, when you're looking around at some of the other guys that got dealt, I wouldn't have minded giving up a 6th-round pick to get Keon White. I wouldn't have been mad at giving up a 5th-round pick to get Draymond Jones either. I think those would have been good additions. The Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, JTS. I'm not mad at this move. I mean, I'm not hyping him up and down. I'm not like this guy's going to come in here and get 10 sacks, but I think he's a guy who's going to come in and he could probably get 20 to 30 snaps a game at defensive end, and hopefully he gets a couple of pressures a game and makes an impact play or two. He's going to be a depth piece. He's going to play for us. I think he'll at least be on the field a lot until Dominique Robinson comes back. Until Dom Rob and him could end up splitting carries. But I'm hoping that Booker gets the most of it. I didn't even know that Lattimore was out for the season. I didn't see that one yet, but I don't think Lattimore, with his contract, I don't think he was ever an option here anyway. I just don't think, even though he is Dennis Allen knows him for a long time, his contract was just too much. Yeah, 5 first-round picks and 3 second-round picks. So that's 8 picks in the first 2 rounds over the next 2 years for the Jets. That's tough, man. Yeah, I'm with Max here, man. I did not want to give up very high picks here, man. That was the Ryan Pace thing. I don't like trading away first-round picks. I don't even like trading away second-round picks, but it's not as big of a deal. First-round picks, that's how you build the core of your roster. And you're always going to lose players. Players are always going to get hurt. Having those first-round picks coming in every year, that's how you continue staying competitive. And you don't see the Eagles. Look at how many players the Eagles traded for. And this is the team that won the Super Bowl. And that's the kind of model I would like to follow. Even the Eagles that are all in, right? They traded a 6th-round pick for Jair Alexander. He's a former Pro Bowl corner. And they got him for a 6th. They're not giving up a 1st. And then they went out and got Jalen Phillips for the highest they traded was a third rounder. Who would you draft with your? Hey, listen to hey, that's one I'd love to answer, man. I'll mention two names of players I really like early on because we don't know where we're going to be picking yet. We don't know who all is going to come out for the draft. I'll be talking about that all off season, but I will give you two names if you want to. If you're going to be watching college football, some players I really like. There's a bunch out there, but two names that are just personal favorites of mine: running back Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame, and the edge rusher is David Bailey from Texas Tech. Check those guys out. There's a ton of other players out there, but those are two guys that are just personal favorites of mine I like watching. I'll be talking about them a lot in the offseason. Yeah, I do like Ringa's point here, though. I do not mind giving up our third round pick, guys. That's with how Ryan Poles is drafted. As much as I've supported Poles over the years, listen, Ryan Poles, he cannot pick in the third round, man. His third round picks have been atrocious. I would be shopping our third round pick and trying to see what we could get for it. I'd be trying to see what we could get for it. Ooh, I think someone mentioned that the Colts gave up A.D. Mitchell as well. Adonai Mitchell, the guy, big receiver out of Texas. Man, oh man. He was so the Colts gave up 2 first-round picks and Adonai Mitchell. He's good, man. J2K says another name I like. Clemson has multiple players on that D line that are really good. But yeah, defensive tackle Peter Woods, he's really good. Oh man. Man, Gator, that's a question I don't really want to get into a lot though, man, a lot. I've never people take the King Poles stuff too seriously. You guys would never hear me calling him King Poles on the channel. Now I did have the logo for a little bit. It was a cool logo, but I like to go against the narratives. And when everyone was saying fire Ryan Poles, yes, he's made a lot of mistakes. He's made a lot of bad free agency decisions, and he's missed on some draft picks, especially after the second round. You get to third round, fourth round, he's made some awful picks, but he hired Ben Johnson. He drafted Caleb Williams. He drafted Rome Odunze. He drafted Darnell Wright. He drafted Colston Loveland and Luther Burden. A lot of players, Jervon Dexter, Kyler Gordon, Jaquan Brisker, I can go on. His first and second round picks are the core of this roster. Those guys are the core of our roster right now. And those guys are the biggest reason why this team is winning right now. So I do love that. But yeah, and when you look at all GMs, man, right now Poles he's probably somewhere in the middle. But when you compare him to GMs the Bears have had in the past, like Ryan Pace and Phil Emery, he's so much better because there's one thing Ryan Poles does that those GMs didn't do. And watch, right when I say this, he's going to go ahead and trade a first-round pick. He doesn't trade away first-round picks. You know what I mean? He doesn't give up those first-round picks. So, oh, man, according to there's a report out there, Breece Hall's preferred destination is the Chicago Bears. Close to Iowa State where he went to college. Look, that's just a rumor out there. That's a report I'm seeing on Twitter. But yeah, he drafted someone like Kyle Monungai in the 7th round. You got to love Kyle Monungai. But he doesn't trade away our first-round picks. He doesn't overspend in free agency. Those are things, that's how you make your team bad for years and years. He protects the future of this franchise. And honestly, that's how you win in the NFL. So, and he got us our quarterback. How long have we waited for a quarterback? We need to see more out of Caleb. But man, we've seen it. He's already got more game-winning drives than our last 2 quarterbacks combined. I love it, man. I love having Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze and all these weapons and having an offense that when we get the ball, there was only 54 seconds left. We get the ball. We're down by less than a touchdown. Caleb Williams, I don't know if anyone saw this or not, but it's going around social media. It showed a picture of Caleb right before he went on the field and drove us downfield for a touchdown, threw that touchdown pass to Colston, Caleb was smiling. Caleb was ready, but he had a look like I'm about to get it. He had a look that he was ready. He was ready. And it's usually when you see the look of quarterbacks in those situations, what do you see for a guy like Mitch Trubisky? He looked like a deer in the headlights, man. Oh my goodness. The Jets are working with both the 49ers and Bears. I did see Jermaine Johnson is actually tweeting. He's on Twitter right now, tweeting memes after he said that he wasn't going to get traded. Oh, man. The Jets are talking to the Bears, though. There's multiple people out there reporting that. I did just see that. Jets are, I mean, you got to at least be on the phone with them, right? After you see if Ryan Poles didn't at least give the Jets a call, I would be highly disappointed, man, because this is a guy who they're a team that right now they're rebuilding. They just traded away Sauce Gardner. They traded away Quinnen Williams. I'd at least be asking them about Jermaine Johnson. I'd be like, look, right down to 4:00, the deadline, hour and 15 minutes from now, I'd be all over it. You just have to try. I would be. I mean, Cam Jordan is a stopgap. I think his contract's a bit too high. I wouldn't giving up a second. Look, I would do this. This would be my offer for Jermaine. If they wouldn't take a third-round pick, Tryon is 26 years old. He's 26 years old. Former first-round pick, just 26 years old. Here would be my offer for Jermaine Johnson, though. Honestly, I would try to get him for a third-round pick. If they don't accept the third and they wanted a second, I would go with this. I would go with a third and a fifth. Like, look, I'll give you guys a third. I'll give you a fifth. And I'll do just like the Cowboys did. One of those picks is going to be in 2027. One of those picks is going to be in 2026. So you're not giving up a third and a fifth in the same draft. But I would offer them a third and a fifth for Jermaine Johnson. That's where I'd be right now, man. He's a guy who could really help. Honestly, he's kind of similar to Austin Booker in some ways. He's got a little bit more bulk to him. He could play the run a little bit better. There's some other low-cost DEs out there. I mean, depending on, you just never know what teams are going to trade, man. Bro, hey, John's 9214. Of course I know that. I think that's common sense at this point. Now, I've mentioned that like hundreds and hundreds of times. Everyone wants to blame Ryan Poles for every pick and all that, but you don't draft a guy. One player doesn't draft a guy. Now, one guy usually ends up getting the credit. It's kind of like how quarterbacks get the most credit if a team's winning or losing. A GM gets the most credit if a draft pick is good or bad. But the scouts play a part in that. The coaches play a big part in that. And I've talked about that a lot, especially when you look at a guy like Colston Loveland. That was a Ben Johnson pick through and through. And you know that Ben Johnson's going to, oh, man. Someone's saying they want a first for both Breece and Jermaine. I still wouldn't give up a first. I give up a third for Jermaine and a fourth for Breece. I'd do that. Let me see. What the? There's some weird stuff going on out there. I'm just trying. I'm waiting for it. Another move is coming. No, I probably wouldn't want to give up more than a third. Second and a third for both. Oh, I've seen multiple comments here that Breece Hall went to the Chiefs. I haven't seen that yet. Let me look for it. Breece Hall. Oh, wait a minute. Jordan Schultz says, no, wait. That was 1 minute ago. I don't see it. I'm seeing multiple reports that Breece Hall has told the Jets he wants to be traded. He wants out of New York. I am not seeing him to the Chiefs yet. I'm not seeing it. Do we need Breece Hall? No, I don't know if I wouldn't know if we need Breece Hall, but I will say this about the running back position here, guys. Running backs get banged up more than any other position in the league. It only takes one carry for something to happen to Monungai or Swift, and I think you could always use really talented running backs. If you could get Breece Hall at a discount, I think he could be one of the better running backs in the league. So I'm always okay with that if we wanted to trade for him. Unfortunately, we cannot trade Braxton Jones. He is on the injured reserve, and I don't think we could trade Cole Kmet either, because Cole Kmet's in the concussion protocol. Until he clears that, we wouldn't be able to trade him either. So neither of those guys can even be traded. I've been talking. I thought Poles was going to get a value player. I didn't say Walmart bin player, but a guy that a lot of people probably never even heard of. And that's what you're doing, though. I don't want him. When you look at the players that got traded for multiple first round picks, I am happy that Poles did not pull the trigger on those deals. That's how you mortgage your team's future. That's how you end up losing long term. I'm glad he didn't do that. I wouldn't be against trading a third or fourth or fifth right now, though, for someone else. Reports are the Bears aren't done. I'm still waiting for it. Just over an hour to go until the trade deadline. Just over an hour to go. An hour and 9 minutes right now. Did Ryan Poles go to sleep, or is he still working those phones? There's reports out there that we are in talks with the Jets. Obviously, nobody can confirm who we're talking about. There's rumors that Jermaine Johnson could be that guy. I might as well just pull up the Jets roster and just take a look. That's kind of what it is right now. Kind of a fire sale over there. Just look at the roster, kind of just going through and being like, I like him. I like him. Wide receiver, not a lot. I mean, if they would trade Mason Taylor, but you know who I like? They got two centers I like. I would talk about Josh Myers or Joe Tippmann. I like Olu Fashanu. He was Caleb Williams' teammate in high school at left tackle. I don't think they're going to trade him either, but right now, I think a lot of people are for sale. Tyler Barron, edge rusher. Will McDonald, edge rusher. Jermaine Johnson, obviously. Jermaine Johnson's a guy. Michael Walker, the linebacker. Not bad, not bad. Cornerback, Jarvis Brownlee. I mean, he could be okay as a depth piece. Azariah Thomas, the rookie. I don't know if they're going to trade away rookies. That's something that usually doesn't happen. You're usually trading away guys who are on the last year of their deal. I think Kmet can't be traded. He's in the concussion protocol. He got knocked out of the last game. Breaking news, Ryan Poles spotted at Portillo's with an hour left in the trade deadline. You know, he had to go get a beef sandwich before he made another move. Let's see. A lot going on out there. A second for Thibodeau. Yeah, Breece wants out of New York. I mean, if you're anybody on that New York Jets roster, wouldn't you want out? I mean, we could even trade for Nick Folk, the kicker. They got a lot of players on injured reserve that could help, but they can't be traded. I'm calling them about Jermaine Johnson. I'm calling them about Will McDonald. Those are the two names I would be talking about. I don't think there's any way Brian Burns gets traded. He just signed an extension with the Giants, I believe. And I think he's one of the most productive edge rushers in the league right now. So it's another name I haven't talked about, Gator. That's one. I haven't seen the Raiders trading anybody yet, though. But Tyree Wilson from the Raiders, I wouldn't mind him. If you could get him for a late round pick, I'd do it. There aren't a lot of teams that are selling right now. Not a lot of teams that are really in the market and selling. Let me see. Double checking. Asking price for Breece is a third round pick. Caleb plus a first for Crosby. Nah, dog. Nah. I don't think I would. I don't think I'd give up a third for Breece. I don't think I'd do it. I do like Breece Hall a lot. I would honestly consider it, but I would try. I would probably offer him a fourth at most. I'd be like, look, you're already selling everybody. Take this 4th round pick. Oh, there's another rumor. The Jets are close to Dylan Jermaine Johnson. Says they're talking to both the 49ers and Bears. But I think this is just someone else reporting a report that's a rumor. No actual sources here, but multiple people are now talking about. Yeah, I got the Jacoby Myers. Oh, I spelled his name wrong, but that's all right. 3rd and Swift for Hall and Johnson. Ooh. Less than an hour to go, guys. I got to put it in the chat or something. Will the Bears make another move? I need to hear some predictions from you guys on this one. Let's see. Let me put a poll up. I kind of want to know. I kind of want to know what your guys' thoughts are. Will the Bears make another move in the next hour? 1 hour left here, guys. Now, sometimes the trades can get reported a little bit late, but I did put a poll up. I want to know what you guys think. I don't think Breece is necessarily a rental. If I bring in Breece Hall, you then have him in the building. You have plenty of time to work out a contract extension with him. I would want to keep him long term. And in the offseason, we can get out of Swift's contract. There's a lot of stuff going on there. I think Breece and Monungai would be good, but you're right. I don't think we're trading for Breece. I think we're talking D-line, guys. We're looking at Jermaine Johnson. We're looking at Will McDonald. Those are the guys we're talking to the Jets about right now. But the rumors are running rampant. Hour to go, and we need help on this defensive line. No way polls is done. I'm thinking that, man. I'm thinking we got to get one more person. I would love to get a cornerback or an edge rusher that could really step in and help us out, but without giving up more than a 3rd round pick. I'd give up a 3rd rounder. I don't want to give up a 2nd. I'm 100% against giving up a 1st. I do not want to give up a 1st. I like Tyreek Woolen too. Tariq Woolen. The problem with Reek, though, the Seahawks are winning. I don't think they really have a reason to trade him. The Bears. Nice try, Sweetness. Nice try. Oh man, the Bears we're winning right now. I don't think. Oh, okay, that's the Bears trade. I saw the JTS trade get reported again. No one has signed Asante Samuel Jr. yet, but he has been cleared, apparently. I would do Bradley Chubb for a 4th. I would do that. Last 2nd, 3rd, and a future 4th for Bradley Chubb. I'd do that. I would take Tyree Wilson. I like Tyree Wilson as well. Let me see. The 49ers just make a move? No. Okay. Rappaport's still talking about the Quinnen Williams deal. A lot going on here, though, guys. A lot going on here. Yeah, if we had Ryan Pace. Tony, why are you trolling people? Oh, man. 1 hour left in the trade deadline, guys. 2 firsts for Claypool. He's still available. And we could just sign Claypool. His next stop is probably the CFL. I think the Jets did pretty well in these trades. The Jets picked up a lot of draft picks. Their draft capital over the next couple of years is crazy. But I think at this point, they've already finagled teams for multiple first-round picks today. I think at this point, they should probably be selling a little bit low. I'd sell a little bit low on Jermaine Johnson. I'd sell a little bit low on Breece Hall. I'd sell a little bit low on Will McDonald as well. Because at this point, they're in full rebuild mode. And they're a team that might as well try to get the number 1 pick overall. and have a shot to really, really rebuild. Yeah, they got 5 first-rounders. They got 3 total second-rounders the next 2 years too. So, yeah. I would be trying to get Jermaine Johnson just because his cost is a lot less. There's 2 ways to look at that one, because with Bradley Chubb, he's already under contract for 3 more years, so you don't have to write a new deal. With Jermaine Johnson, you don't want it to just be a rental, so you don't want him to leave in the offseason. So you're probably going to have to work out an extension with him, and it could cost a lot. So that's where that one gets tricky. Chubb's contract would be hard to move around over the next 3 years. He's basically getting like $7 million this year against the cap. And then the next 2 years, it's up to like 25 to 28 million. So you'd have to do some moving around for that, especially with how our cap looks next year. We're already in bad shape. Just an hour to go to the trade deadline. The Bears have made 1 move. Multiple reports are that they're out there still talking, potentially another move in the works. But as of yet, it's just the 1 move. I'd like to see another move, guys. Let's see what chat thinks. 70% of chat does think another move could be on the way. 70%. Hold on. Ooh, that was me talking. 70% out there. I'm hoping. I'm hopeful right now. The name going around is Jermaine Johnson. That's probably the one that I think would be the most realistic. What would the Jets want for him right now? I would guess probably a 2nd-round pick. I would offer a 3rd. That's probably the highest I would go. I don't think the Saints trade Chase Young, but I would be for it if that was a move that was on the table. Yeah, I did talk about that. Jordan Schultz says the Jets are trying to make another move. He says the Bears are trying to make another move. I like Chase Young. Love him as a talent. I don't think the Saints trade him. I mean, they are a team that's kind of should be sellers, but so far the Saints haven't really traded anybody. I don't see the Saints on this list as trading any of their players, and I don't know why. Maybe you got teams that are always have identity crises out here, right? I like what the Jets are doing. The Jets realize their team is bad. They realize they're not winning any Super Bowl, and they're going full rebuild. Acquiring all these first-round picks, making some big moves, they're killing it. But then you got a team like the Saints. They're way over the salary cap. They're not winning anything. They just took a quarterback early, Tyler Shaw, and what are they going to do with him? Oh, did they trade Shaheed? I did not see that they traded Shaheed, but Shaheed's not. If they're really rebuilding, the Saints would be trading. Alvin Kamara would be gone. Cam Jordan would be gone. Chris Olave might even be gone because you could get some picks for Olave. But there's some players the Saints should be trading. They're not. They're kind of just Alontae Taylor should be gone. A couple players should be gone, and they're not doing it. Herbig would be nice, but I don't think he's getting traded either. I wouldn't want to trade for Kamara. I do like Kamara, but I'm not giving up a third round pick for him. Ooh, a head case Olave. I mean, that would probably be one of the reasons why I would have Olave on the market. I do like him. He went to the Seahawks. I think Cooper Kupp is out for the Seahawks, so they could use another receiver up there. Seahawks, and that's why I don't know if the Seahawks would trade Tariq Woolen. A lot of people are speculating because he's not playing that they could trade him, but they could also use him as a depth piece in case an injury happens because they're a team that is competing. The Dolphins have made some moves too, but I don't think the Dolphins are. I don't think they're in a fire sale mode like the Jets are either. They'll trade someone if they don't think he's part of the long-term future, but I don't think they're going to trade guys like Devon Achane. The one they might trade with the Dolphins, Bradley Chubb over there. So that'd be the guy. That'd be the guy I'd be watching out for. Let me see. Anything else pop in here? Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport. I'm just checking Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter's tweets, see if they put anything else out here. Nope. the Seahawks trade. They're finally talking about that. It's officially official. Rashid Shaheed to the Seahawks. Another trade. Dang, Colts are all in though. Bears have an hour here, guys. An hour to make a move. Von Miller? I thought, isn't Von Miller on the Buffalo Bills? Where's he at? Oh, he's on the Commanders right now? Commanders could definitely... I don't know what the Commanders are going to do. I mean, they're a team that went to the NFC Championship last year. I know Jaden Daniels just got hurt, but I don't really see them trading anybody. Right now, it's the Jets, man. You got to be on the phone with the Jets, and you got to be asking about Jermaine Johnson. I mean, ooh. There is now our newest Bear, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. He had 2 sacks one time in his career. Anybody want to guess the team it came against? Or the left tackle it came against? I'll give you a hint. The left tackle is currently on the injured reserve. And you guys should know his name. Yeah, he got it there. It was Bears and Braxton Jones. He did have 2 sacks against Braxton Jones. So there it is. He's a guy who had 2 sacks against Braxton. Might have made a little bit of money against Braxton, but we at least know he can hit that bull rush if the tackle can't handle it. Yeah, it was Justin Fields. I believe. Let me check. Actually, let me watch the replay. Yeah, it was Justin Fields at quarterback. He just beat Braxton Jones badly. Yeah, and I've seen him beat Laremy Tunzel for another sack, where he beat him with a nice outside move that was more of a speed move. So I think he has some pass rush moves. Hopefully, Dennis Allen can get the most out of him here. But will I be happy if this is the only move we make? I will not. I think I'm happy that we're not giving up first-round picks. I'm not happy that so far all we've added is 1 depth piece. I'd like to add another guy with the Jets, especially with the Jets being sellers like this, because you don't see this a lot in the NFL. If you go back 5 to 10 plus years, the trade deadline was usually boring. There was maybe 1 or 2 moves. There have been so many moves today, man. So many moves. And when you look at a team that's actually going with a full fire sale here and trading their best players away, you don't see this very often. You usually see stuff like this in the off season. You see teams like the Bears trading for Khalil Mack, moves like that, trading for Micah Parsons, stuff like that happens in the off season. You don't see it happening at the trade deadline too often, and that's what happened with the Jets here. They're a team, they're 1-7, and their owner is having a little bit of a crisis right now. He publicly called out Justin Fields last week, and then what happened? Tyrod Taylor got hurt in practice, and the quarterback they criticized ended up starting the game and winning for them against the Bengals. That was 2 weeks ago. They had the bye week this week, but that's a team that's in a they don't know what they're doing over there in New York. But now they have a full rebuild. They got all these picks. They're going to be getting a lot. Oh man, I would really like to see a cornerback. Doug Van Dorn says it here, man. We got to get McLeod out of there now. Most of his reps were taken away last week by Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, but I don't want that guy. I don't want that guy McLeod on the field much. I'd rather have a guy like what was the guy we lost last year? Reddy Stewart, man. I'd love to have a Reddy Stewart back at a point like this, you know. But yeah. We got an hour, guys. Just under an hour left. We'll see if the Bears make another move here. But we did add a pass rusher. There's a lot going on around the NFL. A lot of moves have been made. Yeah, but I believe the Jets are the team that's open for business right now. Once they sold Sauce Gardner, The dam is open. The floodgates are open, whatever you want to call it. And they're open for business. Right now, it comes down to, can you talk them into making another move before the time runs out on us? Because time is running out here. There's not a lot of time left. Under an hour now. So you'd like to see them make a move quickly. Let me see what Ian Rappaport's talking about. Anything new? It's been quiet for a few minutes now. Nothing else breaking. I'm just checking for breaking news. Man, see, the Max Crosby talk, I just don't think Max Crosby's getting traded. The Raiders aren't selling like that. The Raiders are still trying to win a little bit. They have Geno Smith at quarterback. I don't see him trading. And if they do trade him, they're going to want at least what the Colts got, which was 2 first-round picks and a player. That's almost what the Jets got for Quinnen Williams. They'll definitely want a lot more than that. When it comes to Nick Chubb on the Dolphins, I'd offer a 3rd-round pick for Nick Chubb. What I would be doing if I was Poles right now, just shopping my 3rd-round pick. I'd be like, hey, Miami Dolphins, would you take a 3rd-round pick for Bradley Chubb? Jets, would you take a 3rd-round pick for Jermaine Johnson? What about Will McDonald? I mean, you can offer the 4th, be willing to go up to a 3rd. You know how negotiations work, but I would be trying to get rid of that 3rd-round pick. We haven't had any success with it anyway. And if you can get a productive player that can really help this team, and you can still keep your 1st and 2nd-round pick, obviously, when I say 3rd-round pick, if you can do it for a 5th or a 6th, even better. But I'd be shopping another one of our late-round picks and trying to improve this team a little bit more. We're at 5-3 right now. We're half a game out of the lead of the NFC North. There's a real shot that this team could go from worst to first, but we have a couple holes on this roster where we're just really beat up. We got over 5 cornerbacks that are out. We're now missing Shamar Turner for the year, Dio Odengbo for the year, and Dominique Robinson's out for a while. Grady Jarrett's knee is banged up. There's a lot. Austin Booker's already missed half the season. You got a lot of injuries on the defensive line. You got a lot of injuries at cornerback. We could use a couple more bodies at least. Now, they don't have to be Sauce Gardners, but if you can get a couple other guys at least as good as JTS, who we got earlier, a couple other former first-round picks or guys with some talent who could come in and help, hey, I got to see it. Ooh, they're saying he's going to wear number 90. Isn't that what Dominique Robinson wears? What's D-Rob wear? I don't know. Now, I will say with the Jets, look, they're not giving players away, clearly. So they're not just going to hand you guys. It took 2 first-round picks and A.D. Mitchell for them to unload Sauce Gardner. And then they fleeced the Cowboys too. A first-round pick, a second-round pick, and Mozzie Smith for Quinnen Williams. So I'm glad that Ryan Poles didn't pull the trigger on those moves. I think that's both of those teams paid too much. I do think it was a good move for the Colts, though. I think for the Colts, it's pretty much a win-win. This is a team that's kind of all in right now. They're kind of going to, I think they're going to re-sign Daniel Jones in the offseason, and they're going to see what happens with Daniel Jones in Indy. You see quarterbacks who turn it around after a couple of years all the time. Quarterbacks who struggle their first few years in the NFL, guys like Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold and even Geno Smith, and then they turn it around. Seems like that's what the Colts have found in Daniel Jones, and he fits in good there. Everyone on that offense likes him, so they're going for a Super Bowl. I mean, hey, go ahead and trade for Sauce Gardner. I don't think he's the difference, but he does fill the team's biggest weakness. So they needed help at cornerback, and they got Sauce Gardner. The Bears could use depth at cornerback. We don't need a Sauce Gardner. We could use an Alontae Taylor. We could use someone of that caliber, a guy who could come in and be a starting caliber corner, or at least provide depth and back up Nashawn Wright and Tyreek Stevenson. But, yeah, I think Doug says it right here. You just really can't anticipate losing 5 cornerbacks when you're coming into the season. It was honestly one of the strengths of this defense was our cornerback room. When you look at it in the offseason, you had Jalen Johnson, right? You got Tyreek Stevenson. You got Kyler Gordon. You got Terrell Smith, T. Smitty. You got Nashawn Wright. You drafted Zay Frazier. You got Josh Blackwell. There's a lot of guys in that cornerback room, and so many of them got hurt. And it's kind of just devastated us. So I don't think we've had a real good look at what our defense can actually be. But right now, our cornerback room is really hurt. And that's been probably our Achilles heel all season. When you combine our cornerback room being devastated and our pass rushers not getting after the quarterback enough, we've had injuries on the D-line as well. Remember, we didn't have Austin Booker the first 8 weeks of the year. Shamar Turner's out for the year. Dio Odengbo's just been bad. Grady Jarrett's knee has been a big story, honestly. It's been a big issue with this team, and he just hasn't looked like his former self. So a lot of problems when it comes to injuries. A lot going on with the Bears right now. Is anything else happening? It's been 40 minutes. Expecting Breece Hall. Sauce Gardner tweeted it out. Sauce Gardner actually said, wait, is that actual Sauce Gardner? Oh, no. I don't think so. I think it's a Jets fan with a Sauce Gardner name. Okay. Never mind. But he said he's expecting Breece Hall to join the Chiefs and Jermaine Johnson to the Bears. Oh, man. When it comes to Hightower, man, that's a topic. That's a whole topic right there, Tom, because our special teams has been bad. It has been bad. No, that's wrong. Hey, no, Alex, that's wrong. Trading for JTS doesn't have anything to do with our comp pick. Comp picks are solely based on what happens in free agency. So I don't know where that report's coming from, but the JTS trade does not mean we're going to lose our 7th round comp pick. I don't understand where that one came from. Ryan Poles is still at Portillo's. Apparently, they're taking a long time with his order. I mean, yeah, if we don't make any other moves, it means Austin Booker is going to be playing a lot down the stretch. Now, I don't mind that so much, but I don't want to rely on him. You know, I want to have other options. I like having a backup plan. I like having other guys who could come in and help as well. With Booker, he hasn't proven yet that he can stay healthy. So counting on him to be the guy down the stretch, that's tough. That's tough to do. Let's see. The Jets also saved a bunch of cap space as well. Oh, man. Oh, another part of the Jets deal here, guys. Get this from Schefter. Not only do they get a first-round pick from the Cowboys in 2027, they get whichever one is higher. Because the Cowboys had 2 first-round picks in 2027. They got the Packers pick and their own pick. Whichever one ends up higher, that's the one that goes to the Jets. That's usually you got to choose which one of the picks you're including in the deal, and you can get lucky and still get a high pick. But now if they get – the Jets could get a top 5, top 10 pick out of that. That's crazy. Or even we saw it a couple years ago with the Bears. You could end up with the number 1 pick if a team has a bad year. So that's crazy. That's crazy move there in the Quinnen Williams trade. Man, let's see. Yeah, that's the one thing I worry about with Booker. I think he's a guy who I want to see him on the field more. I think he can make an impact. I think he really helped his team, but he's got to be healthy for the rest of the year. He's got to stay healthy. People are getting mad at Ryan Poles. It's it, guys. The final 40 minutes of the trade deadline. Albert Breer is reporting here This is from Albert Breer. This is a big source. The Jets are asking for a second round pick for Jermaine Johnson. Apparently, and in the same tweet, he says they're looking for a third round pick for Breece Hall. I'm out on the third round pick for Hall. And honestly, I don't want to give up a second rounder for Jermaine Johnson either. I don't want to give up a second rounder for him. But I would try to talk them down to a third. And that could be the sticking point right now. I don't think Ryan Poles wants to give up a second round pick for Jermaine Johnson. I got to look at his stats. I think he's got 1 sack this year. I mean, he's done. Let me just get his stats up. I do not think he's worth a second round pick either. Now, he had 7.5 sacks in 2023, but he only has and he went to a Pro Bowl that year somehow with just 7 sacks, but only 11 sacks in his career, only 1 sack this year. He was hurt most of last year, didn't record a sack all season last year. I do not Terrell Smith, I think, is who you're talking about there. Terrell Smith is not coming back. Jermaine Johnson has 1 sack in 5 games this year. So only 1 sack. Had the Achilles surgery last year. I'm not giving up a second round pick for him. Round pick for him. I think there's a big difference in value with the second and third round picks. And this is something I've talked about when I've made in-depth videos about Ryan Poles and draft pick allocation and stuff like that. But when you're looking at hit rates in the first and second round, it's more than 60%. I think it's somewhere around 70. I don't have the numbers off my head in front of me right now, but around 60 or 70% of those players become starters in the NFL. And some of them become impact players with those first 2 rounds. When you get to round 3, it drops off significantly. So when you're looking at third round picks, I know a lot of them become busts, but that's all around the NFL. You're not drafting stars in the third round every year. Now, 1 or 2 teams are going to get a good third rounder every year or 2. There's always a couple players that slip through the cracks. They end up better than the scouts thought. And that happens in the 4th and the 5th and the 6th round too. But after the second round, it drops off significantly. The chance you have of hitting on that pick just drops off. In the 3rd round, it drops off. 4th, it drops off further. 5th and 6th, it drops off way more. So when we're talking about a 3rd, 4th, or 5th round pick, I'm okay moving those. But the 1st and 2nd round picks, those should be the core of your roster. That's how you build the best. That's how you build your roster. That's how you build the foundation. And you can't trade away picks like that. So if that ends up being the sticking point here, because honestly, that's probably where it's at. The Jets want a 2nd round pick. The Bears probably, I'm knocking on wood here, probably are not willing to give up a 2nd round pick for Jermaine Johnson. So if that's what the Jets really want, they're probably at a stalemate right now. And it comes down to, are the Jets going to cave? Now, if the Jets cave and they're willing to lower their asking price, we could see a move happen in the next 30 minutes. Because that's what we got left, guys, 30 minutes. And I'm not giving up the 2nd round pick for him. Let me see. Nothing else yet? Okay. Edmonds and Edwards for less than Roquan wanted. Yeah, I know that. Now, Roquan has been really good, though. Roquan has been really good. I will say I miss Roquan a little bit. If there was a player we traded away, I thought Khalil Mack had to be traded away. I wish we would have got a 1st round pick for him. I wish we would have got a 1st round pick for Roquan too, but those are tough days, man. Yeah. I mean, with how Ryan Poles has been in the 3rd round, I'm very okay with trading a 3rd round pick. And I said it probably about an hour ago, a little bit longer. If they want a 2nd rounder, right? Offer them a 3rd and a 5th. Offer him a third in 2026, a fifth in 2027, or the other way around. Offer him a third and a fifth. I would do that. That I would do. But I'm not giving up a second round pick. I would give up a fourth for Tyree Wilson. I'd do that too. Anyone else? Shaq Barrett. I would have went with Shaq Barrett. I like Shaq Barrett. What up, my man Plank? A fourth for Carl Granderson. Oh, man. Hall to the Bears. I don't think we're giving up a third and a sixth. Not for a running back. I don't think running back's as big of a need right now. I just don't think it's there. Practice squads. I haven't looked around too much recently, Doug, to try to scout practice squad players for potential signings. And there's also, a lot of people don't know this about practice squads, but teams can protect 2 players every week. So, and that's not something that's announced to the public. So there could be a guy on the practice squad out there that's actually protected and teams just don't know about it. So you never know which 2 players they're going to protect. So it's tough. It's tough. I don't think the Giants are trading Brian Burns. I don't think they're doing it. I don't think the Seahawks are trading Reek Woolen either. Both those teams they're competing. The Giants just aren't selling, but they are competing. Reek Woolen, I don't see it happening, man. I'd love it. I'd be a fan of the move, but I don't think they're doing him right now. I just don't think they're doing it. Apparently, you can trade for a player. Who got traded that was on the injured reserve? Did that happen? Wait. Something happened. Hold on. Not Garrett. The Commanders signed Traylon Burks to their roster. Okay, that's nothing. That's nothing. Not the news I was looking for. Hold on. Yeah, Adam Schefter doing something. He was on NFL Live and his phone was ringing and he ran off the set. I don't know if it's Bears news or not, but something's going on there. This is the most. There's already been more trades today than any trade deadline going back to 1990. Third most. Come on now. To tweet this. Oh, man. I was waiting for Schefter there. I was like, yeah, he's acting sometimes. But that one had me. When he runs off the set like that, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm checking his Twitter, and then he tweets about trade deadline deals. I'm like, come on now. Let me see. Wait a minute. Anyone seeing anything yet? I have not seen the Packers make a trade. Nope. I have not. What happened to my Twitter? I do want to sign Jake Moody. I think I've said that a couple of times. What's going on with Shefty's Twitter? No, I know everyone's hitting refresh. I think we're crashing Twitter. I think we're crashing it. I don't even see Schefter's tweets up there. His tweets are gone. Packers traded with Minnesota. John Stamos to the Bears. Oh, man. I thought something was happening. We had Shefty running off the set. I had a couple Twitter DMs, a group chat I was in. They were like, we got news. I was like, oh, no, what is it? I don't see anything. Guys. Bears just traded Sand. Oh, you guys cracked me up. I don't see it. Schefter's tweets aren't even loading for me no more. I got Rappaport, but no Shefty. I got Rap Sheet, but no Shefty. I'm checking the phone. Let me check the phone. What tight end did the Packers? They better not have got Hawkinson. Probably a backup tight end. I didn't even see that move. Come on now. Nothing. Man, I kind of thought something was going down, guys. I kind of thought something was going down. I was like, in the final 30 minutes, we got to move? Not yet. I mean, if we wouldn't have drafted Colston Loveland, I think Njoku would have been a guy I would have been really interested in. I think he's a really good tight end. Yeah, that's all he did. He posted about how many trades were made today. Like, did you run off the set for that? What's wrong with you, Shefty? He literally tweeted that right after he ran off set. So it's like, what? Oh, is Kraft out for the season? Listen, I heard a quote. I don't know if you guys saw this yet, but one of the weirdest things I've seen was Romeo Dobbs was talking about Tucker Kraft, and his response was Tucker's in a better place now. And it's like, just the soundbite and how he said it made it sound like Tucker, something serious happened to him. And it was like, oh my goodness. But he's just out for the year. Okay. I don't think we're going. Crosby's not going anywhere. I don't think Crosby's going anywhere. Dang, I was holding in there, guys. I thought something big was happening. Oh yeah, Sauce to the Colts is real old. Quinnen Williams got traded too. A couple of those, couple big moves there. I'm checking Shefty though. It's been 5 minutes since Shefty ran off the set, and nothing happened. He just tweeted out. Justin Fields got AD Mitchell, and he got they get John Mechie too, I think, or no? Yeah, the Jets are tanking, man. But they have other teams' first round picks to tank with as well. Man, oh man. Under 30 minutes to go, guys. Under 30 minutes to go, and the poll is swaying down. It was up to about 70% of the people thought another move was going to be made. Now it's down to 57%. Who posted the cryptic message? I don't know if I saw that one. Unless Shefty did. I'm refreshing. I'm just refreshing out here. Since we're tied for the most trades ever in one day, I think it's time to make one more to break the record. I think that's just Ryan Poles has got to do it. Oh, Crosby? Crosby tweeted something? I didn't see it. Wait, they're saying Jermaine Johnson. Wait, Jermaine Johnson what? Jermaine Johnson what? Hold on. Nope. Give me something. Hold on. Is something going down? Something? I'm refreshing like crazy. Oh my God, nope. Oh my God. Nothing, guys. Nothing. It's nothing. Falling for it right now. I'm falling for it. Nothing's happening. Bears traded for Joe Tooney. Man, I thought something was going down. We thought it was going down. Man, Schefter needs to quit trolling us, honestly. Rome, someone messaged me. Rome's dad is what we thought Caleb's dad was going to be. Oh, man. This is tough, guys. JJ to the Niners? No, don't say it. If Jermaine Johnson gets traded, that'll probably be the end. I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, Jets robbed the Cowboys with that one too, man. They got a first round pick, a second round pick, and Mozzie Smith. Crazy. Jets are just stacked up right now. And now they want a second round pick for Jermaine Johnson and a third for Brees. They are reaching, man. They got enough draft picks. They need to just make those deals, take a little bit less. Honestly, I thought they'd be willing to. With the picks they've already got today, you can't get greedy with 30 minutes left in the trade deadline. Can't get greedy. At this point, they got all those picks. They might as well trade Jermaine. Oh, no, don't say it. Don't say it. Oh, man. Albert Breer's report. Unfortunately, we can't trade Braxton because he's on the injured reserve. Braxton and Cole Kmet, neither one of those guys can get traded. The Chargers could use Braxton. If Braxton wouldn't have been hurt, I think he's a guy you would have seen him get moved. But he's hurt. Yeah, 2 picks and a player. Man, it's almost, I wish we would have been getting prices like this back when we started our rebuild. No teams were giving up first-round picks for Khalil Mack and Roquan Smith, but they'll give them up for Quinnen Williams? Come on, man. Man, oh, man. I know, man. We're running out of time here. 24 minutes to go. JJ, I've seen multiple people say Jermaine Johnson is gone. I haven't seen that anywhere yet, though. I'm waiting until I see it from a real source. No Shefty, no Rappaport. Those are guys I usually take it with. If Shefty and Rappaport haven't said it yet, Shefty said one more deal is coming. He said there's another deal in the works. There is another deal in the works. He didn't say for who. We're hoping it's the Bears. But straight from Adam Schefter's mouth, another trade is in the works. Somebody's getting dealt here. Come on, Shefty. Come through for us, baby. Come on, man. Jay Glazer, he reported that yesterday. Jay Glazer, he talks to people. I don't know if he doesn't get reports like Shefty and Rappaport do, though. I mean, he could on a specific player, but he's not just like one of the breaking news guys. Let's see. Nothing else yet. Man, come on. Yeah, I'm not holding my breath either. I think at this point, we're getting close to being done here. But one more move is coming per Shefty. I'm waiting for it. I've went this long. I might as well go the 20 more minutes here, guys. Just 20 minutes left in the trade deadline. I'm kind of rooting for Jermaine Johnson. I do not want to give up a second-round pick. I'd be perfectly fine giving up a third, though. My man Kyle asked cornerback or defensive end. I think we need edge rusher a little bit more. I think right now we have decent starting corners. If Tyreek Stevenson stays healthy, Nashawn Wright stays healthy, and CJ Gardner-Johnson, and then you can hopefully get someone back, either Kyler Gordon or Jalen Johnson in the next few weeks, unless they know that both those guys are going to be out for a long time, then I would choose corner. But right now I'd be looking for edge. We need more help getting after the quarterback. I mean, our defense just hasn't been good enough. Especially on the edge. And when you look at guys like Grady Jarrett not coming through, Montez Sweat has been good but not great. Dayo Odangbo's out for the year. Shamar Turner started to play well, and he's out for the year. I think you just need more help on the D-line. It doesn't have to be an edge. If you want to grab a D tackle or someone that can rotate all over the line, I'd take that. But cornerback could help too. I wouldn't rule out either one. But if you trade for a cornerback, I mean, right now, when you bring him in, he's probably not going to start unless he's taking Nashawn Wright's place. And I don't know. That's tough for me. I think we need more help on the D-line, especially if you can get someone cheap or you can get a good deal on a productive player. There's not a lot of options out there, though. Probably at least a handful, more than normal years. But the only team that we know for sure that's having a fire sale is the New York Jets. So I'd be on the phone with the New York Jets for as long as possible here. Even if it comes down to the wire. They could be like, we want a second-round pick. I call them back. I'm offering you the third. They say, nope. Call them back in 5 minutes. I'm still offering you that third. And then, when it gets down to it, 5 minutes before the deadline, if they're still saying no, throw in that fifth-round pick. So I'll give you a third and a fifth. Just make the move. Because at that point, if no one's offered him a second, they're going to lose him for nothing. Part of the problem in the NFL, though, and why teams don't want to give away players for third-round picks sometimes, if they think the player is going to get a big deal in free agency and they're not going to be buyers in free agency, so if they're a team that's rebuilding, they could just say, you know what? We're just going to let him walk in free agency and we're going to go ahead and get that comp pick in return. And at that point, they don't really need to give him up for a third-round pick. They could just keep him, let him go next year. That's another name. I like Leonard Floyd. I wouldn't be mad about Leonard Floyd. 2/3? I mean, I'd rather do that. I'd rather do that than give up a second. Hey, if Ryan Poles wants to hire me to call him up, I'd call him up. Look, I'd sit here and I'd call the Jets all day. I could have been calling the Jets every 2 minutes for the last 5 hours. I'd be like, boop, boop, boop. Yeah, I'll give you a second. Sorry, no second. I'll give you that third. Nope, okay. Boop, boop, boop. It's Swift again. Still offering that third-round pick. Who's got the number for the Jets GM? Can I make I'll go ahead and call him up, do a little Ryan Poles voice. We'll give you third-round pick. We'll give you Braxton Jones. We'll give you Velus Jones Jr. I can give you all the Velus signed jerseys you ever want. I will give you unlimited Portillos for a year, but we're not giving you that second-round pick. Unless it's a conditional second-round pick, like my man Cynical says here, with an impossible condition. Look, we'll make it a second-round pick if he has 10 sacks and the Bears win the Super Bowl. If that happens, I'm fine giving up a second-round pick because we've won the Super Bowl. I don't care anymore. But that's the condition. If we win the Super Bowl and he gets 2 sacks in the Super Bowl, we'll go ahead and get it done. I do like Kayvon, but they're asking for a first-round pick for Kayvon too, so that's too much for me. I'm not giving up a first-round pick for Kayvon Thibodeau. Just not doing it. Keith wants... I would also take some unlimited Portillos. As expected, A.J. Brown will not be traded by today's deadline. Schefter, nobody thought A.J. Brown was getting traded. He's just wasting tweets now. No need to say that. We know that he's not getting traded. What about Rap Sheet? Where's Rap Sheet? Rap Sheet gets it sometimes. Throw in a Justin Fields signed Buckeyes jersey. I think we probably talked to him for Quinnen Williams, but I don't think we ever would have even been close. I don't think we would have even offered a first round pick. So once they said we want a first round pick and more, Ryan Poles probably hung up the phone. But Jerry Jones didn't hang up the phone. He said, all right, first round pick. Okay. What more? And they're like, a second round pick. And he's like, okay. Anything else? And they said, yeah, we'll take Mozzie Smith too. And he went on and signed on that deal. I can't believe it. Hey, Noah thinks Poles is working hard right now. Maybe he's working the phones. He's running out of time here, though. 15 minutes, guys. 15 minutes until the trade deadline. This is what it is. A lot was given up for Quinnen Williams today. A lot that I wouldn't have given up. But, hey, when you're all in, you're all in. Yeah, he might as well tweet out. Breaking news here, guys. The Bears did not trade Caleb Williams or Rome Odunze. They did not do it. The Rome Odunze one is real because his dad's actually out there on Twitter talking about trading him. But, yeah. I'm not even mad if we don't. I'm not mad, but I think we're in position where we could make a deal here. I think it'd be nice to make a move here. Jerry's doing more than Ryan Poles. He is, but that's the one thing I do not want Ryan Poles doing is trading away first or second round picks. Definitely don't want to trade away first and second round picks. That's what the Bears have done my entire life. Ryan Pace did that. Phil Emery did that, and it's never worked. For me, the philosophy I've always wanted this team to have is to build through the draft, and keeping our first and second round picks is the only way to do that. To me, there's really the difference when you trade first round picks, and here's what it is. The only way you can win like that, and the Rams did it for 1 year. They won one Super Bowl, and then the team fell apart. You have to get guaranteed production with those first round picks. But the problem is you hurt your salary cap and you hurt your roster overall. Because first round picks are on cost-controlled rookie deals for 5 years. When you're trading for a guy who's already off his rookie contract and he's making top 10 money, you're not getting as much out of your first round pick as where if you would have drafted a guy, say like the Rams did, instead of trading for a pass rusher, use that first round pick on a guy like Jared Verse. Your team, it's much better for your team to draft a player like Jared Verse than it is to trade for any pass rusher. The problem is there's not every pass rusher that goes in the first round is a Jared Verse. So sometimes the guys you add end up being a bust. So if you get a bust in the first round, obviously it would have been better if you traded that first round pick for a player that was actually productive. But if you're drafting good in the first round, that is how you build successful teams in the NFL. So there's no better way to do it. It comes down to, can you draft in the first round? If you can't, then you might as well trade those guys away. But it's better for your team if you can hit on the first round picks. That's the best way to win in the NFL. And you see guys all the time. You saw it today as well. Welcome, Jay. You see it all the time here. Draymond Jones for a 5th rounder. Jair Alexander for a 6th. Logan Wilson for a 7th. That move by the Cowboys was insane. I love that one. I love Logan Wilson for a 7th round pick because I think Logan Wilson he has the potential to be one of the better linebackers in the league. He's really good against the run. As long as he's healthy, his issue has been staying healthy. But yeah, like Gator's saying right here, I would rather draft an Abdul Carter or a Jared Verse than I would trade for a Trey Hendrickson. Now, difference is you don't get that guaranteed production. But the best way to build a roster has and always will be hitting on your first and second round picks, period. That's the best way to win in the NFL. Yeah, and honestly, if you can't draft in the first round, That's the quickest way to get fired in the NFL as well. You see teams get fired all the time. I mean, the Eagles, even in a year where they just came off a Super Bowl win, they've still had some misses in the first round. They took Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson. Think about that. So mistakes are made, but it's how you build your roster and the overall philosophy that you do. But we're down to 10 minutes, guys. 10 minutes left until the trade deadline. I'm refreshing. Nothing new yet. Coming down to the line here, and it doesn't look like the Bears are going to make another move. We talked about grabbing Shoyinka. We basically gave up a sixth. We got a seventh and a pass rusher in return. He is a former first-round pick. He does have some he was very productive over the last 3 seasons. He hasn't done anything this year so far. So, yeah, Ryan Poles is still calling around teams, offering up that third-round pick. It's at the bottom of the screen here. We traded for Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. He's a pass rusher. Let me give you a brief little breakdown of him. He's 6'5", 250 pounds. He was a first-round pick, 26th. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm looking at Jermaine Johnson. Simmer down. He's 6'5", 260 pounds. He was a first-round pick by the Tampa Bay Bucks in 2021. He went in the same draft that Justin Fields did. He cost a first-round pick, 32nd pick of the first round. Over the last 4 seasons, he has 15 total sacks. His best was 5 in 2023. He's never started he started 16 games in 2022, 12 in 2023, and 11 last year. 45 total starts. He has some experience, 15 sacks, 36 quarterback hits, but he's not a needle mover guy. He's not a guy that came in and is going to be a 12 sack a year guy or anything. Like Pina Colada said, I would have liked the Draymond Jones deal as well. I would have liked that one. I would have liked a couple of these. Yeah, he has more sacks than Jermaine Johnson. Something to think about there for all the people who see that Jermaine Johnson's going for a second-round pick. Tryon actually has more sacks than Jermaine Johnson over the last 4 seasons. So he's got 15. Jermaine's got 11. 11 in 4 years compared to 15 in 4 years. So that is something to talk about there. That's something to talk about. The Bears definitely need some bodies, though. They need bodies on cornerback and edge rusher are the two that they really need it the most. Cornerback and edge rusher, they could really use some help. Tyron has 0 sacks this year. But he only has 31 snaps that he played on defense. It's really hard to get a sack if you're not out there playing. So he is getting an opportunity. I think that's something that can motivate guys a lot as well. This is a guy who was a first-round pick. He's been a situational edge rusher for 4 years in the NFL. He's only 26 years old. And then he goes out and signs a free agent deal with the Browns, and they don't play him at all. They barely play him. Only 31 snaps this season, only 14 snaps as a pass rusher, and he has 3 pressures, which is a third of what Dio had all season. So, and he did that in a couple snaps. So that's something you got to at least acknowledge there, that he should be at least as productive as Dio Odengbo was. Now, that's a really low bar because Dio has been absolutely awful. But he's at least going to give you what Dio did. And he's not going to get in the way of Austin Booker. He's not going to take snaps away from Booker. That's about the best I could say about this move. He's not going to come in here and get 15 sacks. He's not going to change our defensive line. But we also didn't give up pretty much anything for him. We moved down like 10 to 15 spots in the late 6th round to early 7th, which is pretty much nothing. So honestly, we got the guy basically for free. Didn't even have to give up a draft pick. It's just a pick swap. And if he can come in and be more productive than Deo was for a lot less money, that's at least a win in some ways. Now, it's not the move that any of us was expecting. Deo had 21 combined tackles, 1 sack all year, 9 solo tackles, and only 10 pressures. Not worth the money he's making at all. Yeah, right now, Ryan Poles, he's got to be making the Jets sweat because they're thinking, if they're only offering a third rounder at this point, I think we have to up the ante. If we really want Jermaine Johnson, you offer the third and the fifth rounder because the Jets could just let him walk in free agency and recoup that third round pick. So I don't think a third rounder is going to get it done. I think a third and a fifth could potentially get them to make that move. But we're at 5 minutes, guys. 5 minutes left until the trade deadline. Can I show the terms of the Quinn and Will? I'm not going to show it on the screen, but I can tell you the terms. I can type it in chat here. Okay, here. Cowboys get Quinn and Williams. DT. Jets get 2026 second, 2027 first. Now, there's also, they get the highest first round pick that the Jets have in 2027. Whether that's the Packers or their own, they get the higher of the two. And then they also got DT Mozzie Smith, who was a high pick on his own. Plank has been in here. Plank was here earlier. He could be working. He could be doing some stuff, but Plank is around for sure. So the Cowboys get Quinnen Williams. The Jets get a 2026 second round pick, a 2027 first, and defensive tackle Mozzie Smith. Was Mozzie a first or I think he was a second round pick. Mozzie was a guy I liked as a first rounder. No, he was a first round pick. So they basically gave up 2 firsts and a second because Mozzie Smith is a recent first round pick from them in the third year of his rookie deal. So they still got basically 2.5, 3 years of control on Mozzie Smith. That's a great deal for the Jets, I got to say. Now, if Quinnen Williams drastically changes that Cowboys defensive line, then it's a great deal for the Cowboys as well. I'm no Plank, but where's the love? What up, Keith? Love's right here, my man. As bad as our defense looks Sunday, this is it. I mean, defense is something that's hit or miss in the NFL. They can have bad games. They can have good games. NFL is more of an offensive league right now. It's about getting turnovers. And our defense would have looked a lot better if we didn't have a couple of those 2 pick sixes that got called back. We had a Kevin Byard pick 6 and a Tremaine Edmonds pick 6. Both got called back, both on sketchy calls. So I hated that, honestly. That game would have been put away a lot earlier if we would have just got one of those pick sixes. Yeah, I think Michael said it right here. This is probably the biggest win of the trade deadline for me is if we would have added someone that played significant snaps at DE, it would have taken away from Austin Booker's snaps. And I think Austin Booker can be really good, but I would have liked to have another one. Oh, that's weird. The Cowboys, this is the first time I've ever seen anything like this in the NFL. So let me explain this. So I said it, how the Cowboys decided to give the Jets the choice of their first round pick in 2027. Apparently that now means there is going to be a freeze on both of those picks. The Cowboys are not allowed to trade either one because they are both potentially in the deal, and they now cannot trade those picks. That's something you see happen in the NBA a lot. I've never seen it happen in the NFL. So that's wild. I've never seen a trade like that in the NFL. Usually you make the team choose one of the picks, which one they think will be the higher pick. I've never seen the stipulation where no matter what happens, you get the higher pick, except in the NBA. So seeing that in an NFL trade is odd to me, but it got the deal done. So I don't know here. I got to thank Plank or Little Plank for my membership. Nice. JC Nug, my man. Cam Taylor Britt not being moved. I know, man. Well, so he's actually been playing. He started against the Bears this week, but he has been a healthy scratch as a second round pick at times. It just wonders if no one's going to give him anything for him. Oh no, Adam Schefter, the Saints are trading Trevor Penning to the Chargers. Oh man. So they are trading. There is another trade. That might have been it. Because Schefter's been saying one more trade was coming. If that's the trade, then the Bears are done. Deadline deal. Yep. Saints are trading Trevor Penning to the Chargers. We're in the final minute. This might be it, guys. Saints are trading Trevor Penning. It's coming down to the wire. I don't think Ryan Poles made another move. I think that was it. We'll see, boys. Sometimes I'll give it a couple minutes. I'll give it like 2 minutes here. Sometimes they're still getting called into the NFL. But I don't want to. I will say that I've never seen a trade deadline like this in my life where that many first-round picks got traded. There were 3 first-round picks that got traded in the last couple of hours. I don't know if I've ever seen a trade deadline like that in my life. I think that's the first time. It also definitely set the record for the most trades ever at the trade deadline on the final day was today. So crazy, man. Crazy. Oh, he doesn't know anything, Ringa. He's just reporting what other people say. That's just a puppet. He replaced Dio for cheap. Yep, that's something. The only player we got so far, and it looks like it's over, is Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. He's a 26-year-old former first-round pick. 14 sacks over the last 4 years. 2 of them came directly against Braxton Jones in one game. I'm glad we didn't mortgage our future here. I'll give it another minute or two, but it looks like the trade deadline has come to a close. The Saints made a final move here, trading an offensive lineman to the Chargers. Chargers have been trying to beef up that O-line all day. The Bears could have traded Braxton Jones, but he got hurt. He's on the IR, so that's done. It wasn't an option today. We could not trade him. You could say we were going to try on Shoyinka. Oh, man, that's tough. Do I think the Cowboys got taken? I think that's paying a lot for Quinnen Williams. I will say the Cowboys are in a rare position here where with Dak Prescott getting the money he's making, they're a team that kind of is all in. So I thought it was weird. Where they really got taken, I don't think they should have traded Micah Parsons. It comes down to, is the defensive line going to be better now with Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark than it was when you had Micah Parsons? And if it is, if they can stop the run and it's what Jerry Jones thinks and they start winning games and make a run for the playoffs, maybe it's worth it. But including that 2027 pick where they get the higher pick in the first round no matter what, meaning one of your picks could be lucky and be a top 5 pick and you don't even get it, I don't like it. I don't like it, to be honest. But I do think they fleeced the Bengals getting Logan Wilson for a 7th round pick. I think he's really good. But that's it, guys. I do believe the trade deadline has come to an end. It looks like the Jets are choosing to hang on to both Jermaine Johnson and Breece Hall. Nobody wanted to give up a 2nd round pick for Jermaine Johnson. Nobody wanted to give up a 3rd round pick for Breece Hall. And I think the trade deadline is over. We'll see. Sometimes there's still a couple minutes. Sometimes things get reported late. I've seen stuff reported like 45 minutes late. I wouldn't count on it, though. I think the trade deadline is over. It was fun. There was some reports going on out there. We saw a lot of big names move, like Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams. Probably the craziest trade deadline I've ever seen. Unfortunately, the Bears weren't too involved with it. but they didn't mortgage their future either. I think we got a little bit better as a team. We at least replaced Dioo, but we got to hope that Austin Booker, Jervon Dexter, and Montez Sweat really pick up the play for the rest of the season. I appreciate all you guys. 51% of chat has now taken over and said they do not expect a move at the deadline. I love it, guys. Bears, we also added, don't forget, guys, Quinnen Williams went to the Cowboys. Don't forget, guys, we did also sign CJ Gardner Johnson. He is a really good player, and he did make this defense better. He played last week after just being on this team for 4 days, and he got a sack and made a big play. So I love it, guys. I appreciate everybody who watches. I'm going to eat some lunch. I've been on here a little bit too long. I appreciate everybody that was watching. Bear down. I'll see you guys soon. I will be back with a breakdown on our new pass rusher. I got to watch some tape, though.